Mr. Rick Stengel, Under Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs. Welcome to اليوم الحرة. First question, how would you assess Arab states' contribution to the global war on terrorism in the years, since September 11, 2001?
I think in its strange, perverse way almost, terrorism tends to unite people. And I think what happened on 9/11 was something that united people in the world against terrorism, made them realize the United States is also a victim of terrorism. And I would say that our alliances and friendships with people in the Arab world have only grown since then.
How much cooperation are you receiving from GCC government in the fight against terrorism in general?
So if we take it up to the present day against Daesh, I would say again that they have concentrated people's minds, to use an English expression, and made the GCC coordinate even better within itself and among itself than it was before. And I think it's made the relationships between the US and the GCC more powerful. We now have a common enemy, and a common enemy tends to unite people.
The rise of ISIS, how can this problem be dealt with?
Well, we're dealing with it in all kinds of ways. There is the military battlefield, where we have rolled back a lot of their advances, and where the bombing raids are effective, and they represent a cohesion among the partners and the Arab partners. And then there's also the information battlefield, which is the battlefield that I operate on. And I think since the rise of ISIS, or ISIL or Daesh, a year ago, there have been a lot more actors that have come into the fray. Arab countries now have mobilized their own social media, Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and today, as you know, we launched the Sawab Center with the Emiratis, and that is a big new endeavor which I think will inspire other people in other countries to create similar centers.
We were talking about Sawab Center. What is the goal of launching this Sawab Center?
The goal of this center is it's a joint Emirati-American project that will then help coordinate among the coalition partners to create content messages that counter Daesh's social media strength and sophistication, that also present a positive alternative to that negative vision that they are presenting, and also will coordinate the messaging and content from among the coalition partners that are united against Daesh.
After the attack of Paris and Kuwait, some made it clear that US could be a terrorist target. What do you think?
Well, we're all potential targets. Nobody is immune, and we saw that situation in Texas, where there was a kind of lone wolf actor, and certainly people in America are concerned that America itself could be a target, but I don't think it's quite an existential issue for America the way it is for countries in the region, where it's on your border and they're advancing and they're trying to create a state. So I think that the problem is more acute here, but everybody has the problem as well. There are foreign fighters that come from the US too. So it's something that everybody needs to be concerned with.
But doesn't the latest warning of a new attack in US soil suggest that Washington and international community in general are failing to stop the flow of money, radical youth, and arms to terrorists?
Well, one of the ideas of the Sawab Center and what we do in terms of messaging ourselves from Washington is to try to stem the flow of foreign fighters, to if somebody is debating whether to go, tell them that the mythology of what Daesh is creating is false. The caliphate isn't a paradise. There's no plumbing, there's no electricity, there's no internet access. So some of what we do is to try to prevent people from going, and we do that in other ways as well, where we take people offline, who are online, who are tweeting and messaging this content that is trying to convert people. So it's a large endeavor. We're trying to do things in a targeted way to intercept what's going on with individuals. And we try to do things in a mass way to kind of talk about the entire Ummah, the entire Muslim world, to unite against Daesh.
Will the war on terror ever be won, and how?
Well, as many have said, the war on terror is in some ways a misnomer. Terror is a technique. And in this case, it's a technique being used by Daesh or ISIL. And so I'm not involved in the war on terror. I'm involved in the war on Daesh. And I do believe that war will be won.
So we are talking about living in the shadow of terrorism for decades and not for years?
Yes, I mean, as President Obama said the other day from the Pentagon, this is a generational struggle. We have to measure it in years, not months or days. And I think it's not realistic to say that any form of terrorism will go away, or that any manifestation of Daesh or ISIL will go away. But as an acute threat, as an existential threat, as an expanding threat, that will be reversed, and it already is being reversed. And I think the coalition that has come together realizes that's necessary, and I think that is what's happening.
Some NGOs stress that the fight against terrorism should not be at the expense of human rights and international law. Are you agree? What do you think?
Well, you know, in a democracy, there's a continuum that always exists between human rights and individual rights and privacy and security. And that balance always ebbs and flows. And I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you can preserve human rights, you can preserve communication, you can preserve free speech and have stability and strength at the same time. But it's always a very delicate line. And in some places, people cross the line, and that's just the reality.
Mr. Rick Stengel, thank you for being with us on اليوم on الحرة.